Hey, this is Steve from SUMURI.
And I'm Manny from TALINO.
In this episode, we're going to talk about why should you buy a TALINO. This is TALINO Talk. So Manny, at conferences, what's the number one question you get asked about TALINOs?
Why should I buy a TALINO?
Why should you buy a TALINO? So that's what we're going to talk about today in this episode. So first thing we want to talk about is that we didn't get in the business of doing hardware to make money. I know that kind of sounds strange. We're not in business to actually make money. We are. We're not going to be lying to you. But the thing is that customers come first. We didn't design these systems to actually figure out how we can make a profit. And that's what the goal was. The goal is how can we help you as the forensic examiner actually have the best machine possible for the best price. Mm-hmm. Since we actually came from that kind of area, right, and we are actually forensic examiners. Just why is yours always bigger? All right. Anyway, since we're actually forensic examiners, we kind of know, I would like to think, what we want in the box and what's good and what's not good. Secondly, we don't cut corners to take profit. I mean, just no cut corners. What we're finding with other systems is what?
Is a lot of the times there's subpar equipment in there, and they'll cut corners or put subpar equipment in it just to increase the profit margin.
Yeah, there's RAM and then there's RAM, right? So you can get like 32 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of RAM, and then each RAM is not the same. So what we've been finding in other systems is that people generally use lesser quality components in order to maximize profits, which we don't do anything like that. We only use superior components. And then what would be the second most frequent question you get asked?
If we can customize the workstation.
So what's the answer?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, right? So if you're going to go pick out a car, you want a car that you like with the features that you want. So we got kind of tired of hearing like, no, you can't customize this, or there's very little customization. The only thing that we won't allow you to do is actually put anything in your system that's going to degrade the reputation of a TALINO system, because we want it to be only the best. The other thing is that every system is
tested for 3 days, 72 hours.
Very good. So yeah, 3 days. So right behind the doors here, there you can kind of see in the background, that's where they're built. And every system is actually tested for 3 days, because we don't want you to get a system that's out of the box broken. So we actually talk to every single examiner and ask them, what are you using, what's the tools, and we make sure that we know that it's going to work with those particular tools, because we actually use the same tools ourselves. And we know the ins and outs. As you know, with Windows, there can be some issues with drivers and stuff like that. So we want to make sure that they get it right out of the box and working. Next.
Future-proof.
Future-proof. Yeah, so some people say like, oh, our boxes are a little bit kind of unique design, or kind of wider or bigger, like, oh, it doesn't sit on my desktop.
That's on purpose.
That's on purpose. The reason for that is we want to be able to just think back to the old cars, and the cars in the old days where you can actually work on the engines. That's kind of what we were thinking with this. With these cases in our designs, you can actually get inside of them, work them. It's easier to organize cables, add components, new things, and switch them out as you need to, as the systems potentially grow and you need to do upgrades, and it's going to save you money in the future. And one of the biggest ones that we always run into is
customer care.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's one of those kind of things where we just want to make sure that every customer that has a TALINO has the best possible experience with their system. Like, we take care of the people that call in and talk to us, whether it's myself or Jason that's on our team. We take care of the end user.
Yeah, absolutely. We've heard too many cases of just people purchasing systems, they don't work, and then the customers actually getting yelled at by the persons they purchased them from. You basically, like, you're the one.
That hasn't happened before.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that doesn't happen. So essentially, this whole TALINO thing came out of the ashes of everyone's complaints that we've heard over years, and ourselves, as you know, we've been doing this for about 20 years myself, and yeah. I know you've been similar. And we've used lots of other different forensic systems out there, and it got to the point where Manny actually started building his own, and that's where this has all started. So we hope that's a good introduction for you of why you should buy TALINO. We're going to cover each one of these areas in a little bit more detail in future episodes, so please check back in with us again and subscribe.